Sometimes while we're waiting on the guests to get here, I take a little extra shot just for para los huesos. Ruben said he's on his way. Feel a little warm inside. Ready to go, man. There's a reason why Ruben's Groceries has stood the test of time.
Well, I'm on my way to Bodega. It's one of my friend's restaurants. It's one of my favorite restaurants in McAllen. I'm gonna go do an interview called 3 Shots, 3 Questions. I haven't had lunch, and we're gonna do 3 shots of tequila, so it should be a lot of fun.
When the best chefs in McAllen shop at your store, that's when you know it's a good place,
Well, all
man.
the chefs are there in the morning.
On this episode of 3 Shots, 3 Questions, we're interviewing Ruben from Ruben's Groceries. Thank you for joining me on 3 Shots, 3 Questions. I'm gonna tell you how this goes.
Okay.
We're gonna take a shot and I'm gonna ask you a question, and then we're gonna repeat that for questions 2 and 3. You ready?
Just 3.
And that's the beauty of it, is that it's just 3 questions, but it forces you to make sure that you ask 3 great questions.
95% of getting the correct answer is asking the correct question. I don't know what that other 5% is, but.
The tequila.
And I know that you're gonna have great answers. So you ready for the first one? All right, let's do it. Tell me the history of the grocery store.
The store was started by my dad, 1971. Just mom and pop in a little neighborhood that didn't have a grocery store near it. Sold just, milk, rice, beans, oil, regular stuff. It grew little by little. It had a little tiny meat market. It continued to be just a mom and pop neighborhood grocery store up until about 22 years ago. I was visiting my parents, and every time I left, I came back with something different, and it just started growing and growing and growing. And now we're an international grocery store. We carry products from almost every single country and foods from all over the world.
That leads me into my second question, but before the second question, we have to take the second shot.
Oh, shoot. Okay.
All right, so shot number 2. Salud. Question number 2. I had a little quiver in my voice. Question number 2. What are some of the specialty items you can find at Ruben's Groceries you can't find anywhere else?
I tell my employees every day that everything we have, anybody can have. What we do is we provide a service that nobody else can provide. And that is, we're always there. We're very hands-on. Somebody from the family is always there. That's what we have that nobody else has. Now, we have very amazing products that are very difficult to find. We've got the beginning of our exotic summer fruits, the rambutan, the lychees, the logans, the jackfruit, the pitaya. All of those are summer fruits that we source and bring them in straight fresh and can sell them at really great prices. Well, we were talking earlier about how in Mexico, the tequila is kind of ritualistic. In Argentina, the yerba mate is that way. It is drank out of a gourd with a bombilla, and it's drank in a community, in a group, and everybody sips out of the same gourd. Tequila is considered a superfood. I just made that up.
I was gonna say, explain yourself. It is for 3 shots, 3 questions. Cheers. Question number 3. Tell me the story about the Alaskan king crab and how that happened.
We bring in on a private charter fresh Alaskan king crab directly from the boats of the Deadliest Catch into McAllen. So we're the only place on the planet besides Alaska where you can eat a fresh Alaskan king crab. A friend of mine calls me and says, Captain Wild Bill is in Atlanta, Georgia at a sustainable fishery convention. Go, talk to him. I go to the convention. I meet the captain, we become friends, and he says, you know what, you can have the crab off my boat.
This is what makes Ruben's Groceries different. Ruben will get on a plane and go and meet Wild Bill from Deadliest Catch.
And then last year he called me and he says, come up. And I took my dad, and we went on the set of Discovery and got to go on the boat, got to get the crab off the boat, and we brought the crab back with us this time.
Ruben, thank you
Salud.
for joining me on 3 Shots, 3
And
Questions.
thank you for the Stella. This is my favorite beer, by the way. At the end of the day, The only thing that matters is that you had a good time. So rules be damned.
Today I broke a rule that I've had for over 25 years, that I do not drink until the sun is below the horizon. And I did that for you guys.
I have a similar rule. I stop drinking when the sun comes up.